note completion or table completion. And the second one that we have been through, that is the heading matching, in which you have to find out the main ideas of the paragraph or of a section. And you will also have a lot of practices for the two skills of scanning and skimming. And in terms of scanning, not only the completion, you also have a look at the true, false, not given, or yes, no, not given. And I have to emphasize to you that they are all the question types that definitely you will have in the test, and they are the foundation. Even you are going through all of the question types or not, but then the two skills of skimming and scanning will go with you in every question, rather than you have a lot of types of question or a lot of skills. We have a number of question types, but then we just have a few skills that you have to know, that you have to understand, and from that go and practice the different format of the questions. Okay? And today, in terms of the reading lesson number 4, we are going to look at another type of question that you will have in the test, which is the matching. And actually, in terms of the matching, we also have different formats. They do not have exactly the same, but then we will look through each of them. Okay? So now let's look at the very first one. The reading text number 1 that we have here, and then we'll see what it is in terms of the matching information question. The first one that you have here is music, language we all speak. And then after that, you also see that we have different sections of the text. It is not the paragraphs, but then they are the different sections. And this reading text is of the length that we have in the real one. It is not too short or too long. And then after that, you will see, please look at the questions that we have here. 4 questions from 1 to 5. We have the very first one that have you to revise a little about the matching heading that we practiced in the previous lesson. Choose the correct heading for each section from the list of headings below. So here you can see that we have 5 sections from A to E, and then you have the list of headings, in which here we have 8 headings, which means we are going to use just 5 of them, and there are 3 extra that you are not going to use. After that, from question number 6 to 10, it is the matching information that we have here. Look at the following people, questions from 6 to 12, and the list of statements below. Match each person with the correct statement. Write the correct letter A to G in boxes from 6 to 12 on your answer sheet. So for the matching here, I think that it is pretty clear for us. But have a look again. They give you the following names, okay, or group of people from 6 to 12. And then after that, we have the list of statements from A to G. The list of statements from A to G. And in this one, because if you remember, I told you at the very beginning of the course in terms of the reading already, whenever you have the proper names, it is expected that you can find the names more easily, more quickly than other words, other phrases. And in this one, we also have the list of statements from A to G. And the way that we do the matching, of course, you will have to find the name. For example, here we have number 6, Steven Pinker. We will have to locate the name in the text. Where is the name Steven Pinker? And make sure that you understand this one. Steven Pinker, that is a full name. We may have the full name in the very first place. But after that, if we have the second time or the third time of the names or his opinion, they won't just have the last name. For example, they say that Pinker only rather than they have the full name. So be careful with that, because in some reading texts, we may have not only one place that the name appears, Steven Pinker, but then we have more than one. We may have several times that he or she gives the opinion. But then the second time, as I said, onward to other times, they just have the last name. So you may need to find all of the places that we have the name, rather than you just have the first one, okay? And then after we find the name, please read the opinions or the findings or the belief of the person or the group of people. And then we will have to match with the statements that you have here by reading the statements from A to G to see which statement that you have similar meaning. Of course, they will have the paraphrasing, but then basically they will have the similar one. Okay? So there are several steps here. I just want to say it again. Even I think that we have that in the scanning already. That is number one. We will have to find down all of the places of the name. Okay, all the places of the name, you may want to highlight, you may want to note down, you may want to circle or whatever, but then find the names. And then after that, read the opinions or the attitudes of the person or of the group of people very carefully. After that, we will match what we have read in the text with one of the statements that we have here from A to G. And of course, as I said to you earlier, the meanings must be the same, just the different words or different expression. Okay? And then finally, we have the two questions of number 13 and number 14. They are the multiple choice. So we know that in the test, usually we have around 13 to 14 questions. And in this one, you will see that we have three types. The first one, they ask you for heading matching that we learned in the previous week. And we have some practice. But today, you have the very first one of heading matching as a revision. Then after that, we move to the matching that we will try to focus more on today from questions number 6 to 12. And finally, the two last questions of multiple choice. We do not know what kind of skill that they ask in this one for the multiple choice, because the multiple choice is pretty versatile. They can ask you for main idea, they can ask you for the specific details, they can ask you for the inference. So we will have to look at that. Okay? So now class, in the test, you have around 20 minutes for this one. In class, we will try to have a little less than that. But then basically, if you haven't finished in around 17 to 18 minutes, you have around 2 or 3 more minutes. Okay? So now I just give you for about, I think, 18 minutes. And then if you haven't finished, it is okay. We will spend exactly 20 minutes for that. Okay, so again, 20 minutes for you to do the 14 questions that we have here with the 3 purposes. Number 1, revision of the matching heading. The second one, practice the first time for matching information. And also we have 2 questions left for multiple choice.